Hello, my name is Craig J. Davis and welcome to my channel. And I'm here today to talk about our fake culture or fake society, yeah, whatever it is you want to call it. And we are becoming a fake culture. An example I can give, right? This is just my first example. And I'm wearing my Christmas hat. It's red because I'm feeling a bit more positive about Christmas. Trying to anyway. But anyway, right? The example I can give about our fake culture is that I was watching TV the other day, and this advert it came on. Right? It was during an advert break, and this advert came on, and the advert starts about this gorgeous hot woman who walks into this pub. Right, she's in a long dress. She goes to the bar, orders a pint of a Guinness, and as that lovely creamy Guinness is being poured, I'm sitting there thinking, God, I tell you what, people, I could murder a pint of that right now, right? And the bartender, he puts the pint of a Guinness in front of her. She picks it up, has a sip, and has all the froth, all that white froth from the beer on her upper lip, and then the advert ends saying Guinness 0.0%. In other words, a so-called non-alcoholic stout beer. And that's just one example. What is the point? What is the point of drinking a substitute? What is the point of pretending to drink something that isn't real? I don't care what you call it. That isn't a Guinness. That isn't a stout. That's not a beer. A beer contains alcohol. If it doesn't contain alcohol, it's not a beer. If I had to call it something, if it has a name, the only thing that I could call it is a cold malt drink. And speaking of all these non-alcoholic beers, right? Peroni is doing the same, and that German brewery company is doing the same. Beck's, they have now brought out a 0% so-called beer, and I think that Indian company, was it Cobra, is it? I think it's, yes, it is. They also doing the same as well. You're drinking something that isn't real. Look, I'm not against people who are teetotal. Of course, it's not. If people are teetotalers, that's entirely up to them. And of course, there are teetotalers out there, because there are a lot of people out there who are recovering alcoholics, so they shouldn't drink alcohol. But why pretend to drink something that isn't real? If you don't want to drink alcohol, then why not have a soft drink or a J2O or a can of Sprite or Pepsi or something? I suppose the attitude is because, oh well, if I drink a non-alcoholic beer, it puts people off my back in trying to persuade me to drink alcohol. Well, if that's the case, with all due respect, if people, right, that you're in around with are keeping on to you and constantly trying to persuade you to drink real beer, then with all due respect, they aren't your true friends, are they? Because a true friend will accept you for what you are drinking. If they keep on to you all the time, oh, have a drink, man, we're drinking this shit, folk, whatever, then tell them to get lost. Because if a friend or if anyone cannot accept you for what you're drinking, then they're not your true friends. And also as well, speaking of all this non-alcoholic beer, right, what gods are those what chemical process that they use to remove the alcohol? You know, I mean, you don't know what they are using. And so, as ironic as this sounds, as damaging as alcohol is, you're probably a lot safer drinking the real McCoy than actually drinking the non-alcoholic stuff, which has gone through a chemical process to remove the alcohol. And it's like, it's what a waste of time, yeah? The brewing company goes through those weeks in fermenting the grain, in fermenting the malt and the barley, yeah, where it then goes through that chemical process called fermentation. And when the fermentation is complete, after all of those weeks, then they use some kind of device to remove all the alcohol. But non-alcoholic beer, right, is just one example of our fake culture. Another example I can give is veganism. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Don't get me wrong. I do have a lot of respect for vegans. I've actually been a vegan in the past as well, temporarily. I mean, can't you tell? Just a look at my wonderful physique, right? And a lot of people have become vegans, one, because they no longer want to eat the flesh of corpses, and two, it's because of the ethical reasons. Because if you see what goes on in slaughterhouses, yeah, in these factory farms, the way that these animals is treated is beyond human. It's just not. It's just, well, it's cruel, right? It's very cruel, to say the least. So I understand why people become vegans, and eating vegan food is healthy, right? Like fruit, vegetables, right? Nuts and seeds, right? Yeah, salads. It's very healthy. But there's a flip side to veganism, and this is what it is. vegetarians and vegans, they give up eating meat because they no longer want the taste, the smell, and the texture of a meat. Yeah? But yet then they eat false vegan foods. And these false vegan foods are meat substitutes. They're vegan foods, if you can call it food, that looks like a meat, tastes like a meat, has the texture of a meat, smells like a meat, but it isn't a meat. Then what is the point? If you want something that tastes like a meat, if you want something that smells like a meat, if you want something that has the texture of a meat, then actually eat meat. Eat the real McCoy. Eat something that's real. You know, there are so many times, right, where I've been to Tesco and gone out sorted, right? There are so many times when I've been into Tesco and I've gone along the vegan aisle, because I sometimes do shopping for my mother, because she's a vegan, right? And I look at the labels and I see vegan bacon. How can you call it a bacon? Bacon comes from pigs. Bacon is pig meat, also called cig moch in Welsh, right? It's not bacon. And if I had to choose between that stuff and a bacon, I would choose the bacon any time. Because at least with a bacon, even though it's full of saturated fat and full of salt, at least I know what I'm getting. In these vegan products, because it's all synthetic, because it's all man-made stuff, you don't know what you're getting. You know, I don't understand why people pretend to eat something or drink something that isn't real. It's the same with coffee and tea. Decaf tea, decaf coffee. What's the bloody point? The reason why people drink coffee or they drink tea, especially first thing in the morning, is to get that kick, is to get that high. It's the same with alcohol. I forgot to mention that, but I'll say it, and I'll say the same thing about alcohol as well. Shut up, bloody bus! The reason why people drink alcohol is for the effect. It's for the no. It's for the effect. You know, you get all these so-called wine. You get all these so-called wine experts, yeah, these wine snobs who say that, oh yes, well, drinking red wine is good for the heart. What a load of shit. And to be honest, I couldn't care. Because you drink a wine the same as you drink any alcoholic drink for the effects. It's for the high. So I don't see the point of drinking non-alcoholic drinks. And I'm talking about, and when I say non-alcoholic drinks, I'm talking about the drinks that should be alcoholic. And now we're getting to the point now where we're getting to a stage where we're all living in virtual lives, where we're in social, where we're social distancing, and you see people that are just constantly on the phone, and and I've seen it, right? People out there in the streets texting and walking, and they are bumping into things and falling over. I saw it in town, yeah, in Swansea City Centre about 4 or 5 years ago. In Castle Square. It used to be called Castle Gardens because there used to be a garden was full of lovely flowers and swans and ducks and storks and emus and giraffes and elephants. Sorry, right? And then, but the council decided, "Nah, sod this. We'll turn this Garden of Eden into a dull grey concrete squalid slab, where it is now full of skateboarders and chewing gum just all over the floor." And I saw this a woman, she was texting, right? And in the centre of Castle Square, you have a fountain, right? And I saw this a woman on her phone. She was walking towards the fountain, and I said to myself, I can see what's happening. I can see what is now going to happen. And guess what? She went straight head over heels, straight into the fountain. And of course, I just started panicking. Then it didn't change. You splashing everywhere, and people didn't even come to her aid. Oh, poor woman. But anyway, yeah. But I would like to know your thoughts on the things that I've just said. Please comment. Please subscribe, and please don't hesitate to hit the like button. And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, or as we say in Welsh, a Nadolig Llawen, a Blwyddyn Newydd Dda. God bless.